We are here talking about Big Boy Boxing, which is a fantastically animated tribute to a retro game that I'm somewhat familiar with. What can you tell us about it?
So Big Boy Boxing is an arcade boss rush. It is inspired by Punch-Out and a little bit on Cuphead as well. It is basically a hand-animated boss rush game. It's very fun to play, but it does get kind of hard sometimes. I don't know if you noticed. It does have it's very intricate. Right now here at PAX, we have 7 bosses. It's gonna launch in October. So we're going to have 10 bosses out there, but the team that is developing the game already has thought out 36 bosses. So it's going to be a whole thing. Yeah.
The inspirations are very obvious, but what was done to differentiate this and make it its own thing?
I think we've all known, even if you haven't played it, we've all known a bit about what Punch-Out and how Punch-Out is. I think the main difference in Big Boy Boxing, the main differences is, first off, it's comedy. It's very slapstick comedy. It has a very specific sense of humor. I think it's very wacky, All the bosses have these very, very wacky animations that sort of take you back to cartoons, stuff like that. So that is very fun. But it's also, since it's all hand animated, it's very fluid. It's very it's very smooth to play, I would say. And I think that's the main differentiator from anything else that's out there right now.
Yeah. I noticed, too, that the bosses also have several phases within them, which reminds me of a lot of other boss-type fights. What were some of the artistic inspirations for these bosses?
I mean, definitely, I think the inspiration is not so much inside of games, but it's sort of this retro vibe kind of thing, old school cartoons sort of thing, that really comes through in all the bosses. I think they all have very specific archetypes. For example, our first boss is Freezy Boy. Freezy Boy is this guy that really doesn't like to lose and suddenly gets into a rage fit, basically, and his whole thing changes out because you beat him and he suddenly transforms into something else, So it's very this sort of I think archetypes that we all have in our heads, but just cartoonishly made, I think. Yeah.
So you said October release. Is there a place where people can go to get more information on the game?
Yeah, right now you can wishlist the game on Steam. We have a demo out there. It's not as big as the one we have here at PAX, but it is pretty fun to play. You can wishlist there, and you can also follow us on all socials. You can look for @BigBoyBoxing on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can also follow the developers @Submasters on Twitter and everything else. We're gonna be releasing more info on everything, but yeah, our release date is in October.
Awesome. Thank you so much.